And that's, pretty much where we are with this thing, man. That's where we are with this thing. Okay, the live stream is actually up now on YouTube. Don't know what the hell's going on, but we here and we in it, man, and we gonna continue to move forward. Download the Junior the Truth mobile app, man. Whether you team Apple or team Android, we do have a mobile app for you, and it's absolutely 100% free. Free. You feel me? So download that thing, man. Man, this show is brought to you. This show is brought to you by the good folks over at the CBD Counter, powered by hempschool.com, man. Be sure to go visit that website, visit that online shop, www.cbdcounter.co and that is your one-stop shop for all of your CBD needs, man. They have, creams, eczema cream, and oils and gummies and vitamins and minerals. They have all kind of stuff over there. So go over there, man, and check them out. Once again, www.cbdcounter.co, man. Salute to all you guys that are holding it down over on the app. I really truly appreciate y'all, man. Me and you too, we got a love-hate relationship going on right now, man. We got this love-hate thing going on right now, and it's cool. You understand what I'm saying? I'm awkward. So I have absolutely, no problem. I have absolutely no problem admitting it. I will say this though, man, if you are over on the YouTube stream, it is a good idea to download the mobile app, man, and you will be able to catch the show there, because that is exactly, where I'm headed. You know what I mean? If anybody asks you, you feel me? Where I am going, you feel me? Where I am going, you feel me? Soon I'm going up yonder, you feel me? I'm gonna be on the mobile app, man. I'm going up yonder. I'm going up yonder. You understand? So that's where I'm gonna be. If a motherfucker asks you where I'm at, man, that motherfucker over that mobile app, man. You understand what I'm saying? He over there on that mobile app trying to be independent. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not gonna try to spell the shit out like Lil Webby, but you get what I'm saying. He over there on that mobile app, man. You understand what I'm saying? He tired of dealing with the bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? Mr. Williams. You know what I mean? That boy tired of dealing with the bullshit. So you want to catch him, you want to find Junior, he gonna be over there on that mobile app. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, man, let's get through this, man. I wanted to get in here and rap, man. I really wanted to, in the words of the homie Santee Walton, man, I really want to slow walk this thing, man. I really want to slow walk this thing in an attempt to decode the sport of boxing, man, because, and I'm talking about decoding the boxing politics. You understand what I'm saying? Not decoding the actual mechanics involved in the sport, because I'm not qualified for that. You understand what I'm saying? And I can honestly sit here and tell you I'm not qualified for that. You feel me? I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I'm not qualified, family. That's not my area. You understand what I'm saying? That's not what I do. You feel me? But I do want to talk about the politics. Before I do that, man, let's get in here, man, and show love, man. Salute to Rob Walker, man, in the chat via the app. What's up, baby? Clipper Gang on the app, man. Derek McGee, Jay Cooley, the homie Jay Good. You feel me? Marlon So Icy Sims over on the app, man. Salute to you, man. You feel me? Salute to you, family. Really, truly appreciate you. Yes, he said the brothers on the app today. Yeah, the brothers on the app, man. YouTube is giving me a little bit of issue, man. You know what I'm saying? They're giving me a little bit of issue. But it's cool because we gonna work it out. You understand what I'm saying? Didn't he work it out? Didn't he work it out? You feel me? Joseph Brown, Judge Joe Brown in the chat, man. Stay Ready Boxing TV on the chat. Crush the Legend, King Corleone, Shakita Dow. I knew it got thicker in here. You feel me? Rico Shaw, Harold Jones, Your Pref Chef. What's up, baby? It's just boxing. Lost Sounds 50. Jay West, you understand what I'm saying? Nitty G, all in the building, man. All in the building, man. Crush the Legend says, I can't find the app in the Google store. You got to put in Junior the Truth. You got to spell it out. JUNIORTHETRUTH. And it's all one word, no spaces. You understand what I'm saying? When you do that, it'll be there. All Junior the Truth. You got to spell Junior. A lot of people just put in JR. That don't work. You got to put in Junior the Truth, just like my name. You see my name down at the bottom of the screen. You put it in just like that, JUNIORTHETRUTH. THE, man, and there's no spaces. Jay West asked, do you want us to fall over to the app? We're good today, man, and like I said, as of December the 1st, I'm going to be moving the entire show over to the app. You know what I'm saying? The whole show, the whole live stream, all of my live stream shows will be over on the app. You understand what I'm saying? I won't be utilizing YouTube for my live streams because of, you know, my discontent with kind of what's going on over here, man, partially. Plus, you know, we move into the independent side. So starting December the 1st, which I'm not even sure what day December the 1st is on. Let me look and tell you what day the December 1st is, because the first actual show will be December the 2nd. So December the 2nd is the very first Punch Junkie Morning Show, will be solely on the mobile app. But anyway, man, let's go on and move forward, man. Salute to everybody. Really, truly, genuinely appreciate y'all. So, like I was saying, man, man, you said YouTube changed their policies December the 10th. They will be changing. Okay. So as far as the politics of boxing, man, I really truly realize that a lot of people don't really, you know, especially as people are coming into the game and coming into, you know, actually beginning to watch boxing and so on and so forth. A lot of folks don't necessarily know, and they don't know about the boxing. You understand what I'm saying? They just don't know. And for me, I wanted to get in here and use this, and I want to have a series of conversations about this, man, because I really truly want to decode the sport of boxing, man. I want to decode the sport of boxing. You understand what I'm saying? I want to decode it for people. You understand? So that folks can really truly get an understanding as to why people like, you know, units like the LDBC, individuals like Blood Boxing, you know, 78 Sports TV, you know, just people who have been, you know, historically dealing with this stuff. You understand what I'm saying? The brother Ashy Knuckles, people who have been around and who have been historically participating in these boxing communities, in these boxing forums, why it is so important, why we have the voice that we have, and why we have the stance that we have. I want to offer some insight into that so people can really truly understand what time it is, man, when you're dealing with the politics in the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like it you know, it's just that important to me, you know, and so I want to literally have this conversation. So I don't even know where to start. I guess I can start off by saying that, hey man, damn, do I just want to jump? I give that little soliloquy, right? I get a little soliloquy, right? And then I get to the point where it's time to talk, and I'm like, damn, do I want to just jump in? You understand what I'm saying? Well, I guess I can just jump in. The sport of boxing is predicated on tribalism. I won't just go directly to racism, but I will go to tribalism. You know what I mean? Even though, don't get me wrong, racism is alive and prevalent in the sport of boxing. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The sport of boxing is a very, very racist institution. Period. Salute to my big brother KQKC in the building. Salute, family. I see you. It is a very, 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 very salute, Ron G. I see you in the building. Brothers UK, what's happening? It's just boxing. King Corleone, I see you in the building. What's happening with it? Crush the Legend, I see you too, family. Duke, I see you, homeboy. Duke, boy, that Detroit player. You understand what I'm saying? My Detroit players. Duke was a money-getting nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Duke was a money-getting. He was getting money the Detroit way, huh? If you know, you know. Anyway, man, I don't know why that made me smile, man. This is terrible. Probably because I love the streets. Don't make no damn sense, but I need to grow up. Maurice McElroy said he just downloaded the app. How do I comment? Basically, in order to comment, bro, you create your you got to log in. You can sign in. You can sign in with your email address or sign in with your Facebook. There is no anonymousness over on the mobile app. You understand what I'm saying? So when the trolls want to come over there and talk that shit, they got to reveal themselves. You got to reveal yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Bev Rose, what's up, baby? I miss you. I see you and old boy. I'm gonna call him old boy because I don't know him yet. You understand what I'm saying? That's what, I gotta call him old boy. You feel me? I see you and old boy. Y'all was riding looking like the brown and yellow Griswolds. You understand what I'm saying? See y'all all riding and stuff, man. Salute to you. Now, stop getting me off topic, y'all. So the sport of boxing is based on tribalism, which is why, when you hear the whole conversations like stuff like this side of the street and that side of the street, you know what I'm saying? This promotional outfit, that promotional outfit, that is all, those are all talking points that are predicated on the tribalism. You understand what I'm saying? You have the PBC, then you have the DAZN fighters, then you have Top Rank. You understand what I'm saying? That's all, predicated on tribalism. And then you have fans that, will gravitate towards, one way or the other. Then you have fans who will try to suppress themselves because there's things that are going to come up within you that are going to cause you to want to favor one of the outfits. Just as a human being, it's going to be natural for you to want to favor one of the outfits, one of those promotional outfits or the network outfits, right? But you're going to suppress that and you're going to say, oh, I'm neutral. I don't pick sides. I love the sport of boxing. I do this, I do that. It's just like when you watch two fighters fight, right? Okay. You are going to side with one of the fighters. You're going to favor one of the fighters over the other. Whether you come in favoring the underdog, you want to see the underdog to win, or you come in favoring a specific fighter. You understand what I'm saying? You want to see that fighter win, or you come in, you like greatness and you just want to see folks win, so you want the undefeated fighter to continue winning. No matter what, when you come in and you watch it, JT, the Underrated Darkness, I see you in the building. What's up, family? You're going to gravitate toward a side. Boxing is predicated on tribalism. You understand what I'm saying? It's like all the way back to the origins, to the original organic fibers of the sport. It's predicated on tribalism. Okay. So, now the tribalism, the tribal, connection might be racial. It might be ethnic. It might be nationalistic. You understand what I'm saying? It might be. So when I say all that, let me salute to the homie Tony Boswell, man, popping out the box on that ass. He popped out the box in the super chat, man. Salute, family. I really, truly appreciate it. He popped out the box. You understand what I'm saying? Salute, family. I appreciate that, bro. So it's you look at it like it is. So when I say it might be racial, so white people will genuinely go and cheer for, gravitate towards white fighters. You understand what I'm saying? Or white promotional outfits or whatever the case may be. You understand what I'm saying? They will go to an entity in which there's white fighters or a white person in control or a person who's been whitewashed in control. You know what I'm saying? A la Oscar De La Hoya. You feel me? So when I say racial, that's what I'm talking about as far as that. So when I say it might be ethnic, you understand what I'm saying? So you might be a Puerto Rican, you know what I'm saying, or a Latino who cheers for Latino fighters. You understand what I'm saying? So you'll go into a fight where Mikey Garcia fights Errol Spence. You understand what I'm saying? So you are enforcing your right to be tribal based on ethnicity. So you say, well, I'm gonna always cheer for the Latino. I go for the Latino. So you're gonna cheer for the Latino. Or you might say, look, I cheer for, brothers globally, you know what I'm saying? I recognize, a descendants of Africa or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to cheer for, the brother who has who's a descendant of Africa. That's what that is. Or nationalistic, you know what I mean? You might gravitate towards fighters from a nationalistic standpoint. So you might go into a fight where you're saying, okay, Andy Ruiz is fighting Anthony Joshua, and I'm going to cheer for Andy Ruiz because he's from America, Jack. and we don't play that games. This UK, this Brit is coming over here to America to fight this fight an American fighter, and he gonna try to come over here and stake claim to some stuff in America. This is America, Jack, and I ain't standing for it. I'm cheering for the Mexican American fighter because he's America. He's from where I'm from, and we about to show him how we get down over here in the streets of America. You feel me? So like, it's D-Lo Boxing 404 says, I'm tribal. I'm supporting fighters who behave like fighters. That's a thing too, because a lot of fighters don't like a lot of boxers hate on Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder because he doesn't fight traditionally like a boxer. So you got people who hate because you had these dudes who've been hitting the bags and who've been in the gym since they've been 4 years old. You understand what I'm saying? Putting on gloves and shit since they've been 4. They've learned how to fight and how to box a certain way. And then you have Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, who is totally 100% unorthodox. And then you have people like Andre SOG Ward, Floyd Money Mayweather, Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, who learned to box in a certain way. And Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, who does absolutely everything unconventional, who does everything and makes all kind of mistakes that would be detrimental to a fighter like them. And they look at that and they hate. It's awful for them to watch. Clarissa Shields even talked about it. It's awful for them to watch. You know what I mean? But he still is undefeated, and he still has 40 plus knockouts. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? He's still, or 40 knockouts. He still is the man. And they can't stay. They're tribal tours, so they go in and they see him fight. Like Luis Ortiz was the big one because he's a masterclass boxer. He's a heavyweight. They were just sitting like watch this. Luis King Kong Ortiz is about to go show you what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like Eddie Murphy said in that movie when he broke the stick, he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna show you how I feel about that karate shit." This is the Golden Child. He broke a stick like, "Yeah, I'm gonna show you how I feel about the karate shit." That's what they looking at. They looking at Luis King Kong Ortiz like, okay, yeah, we about to show you how we feel about this unorthodox shit. This motherfucker about to beat the shit out of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Luis King Kong Ortiz is a Cuban, decorated boxer with power. He's the boogeyman. He's about to go in here and beat the hell out this boy. You feel me? And then when he gets in there, he gets knocked out, just like everybody else who gets in there with him and gets knocked out, which is why they were so excited that Tyson Fury was able to go the distance with Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. You understand what I'm saying? Which is why Andre SOG Ward, Timothy Bradley, these dudes who grew up learning how to box, you know, the traditional way or whatever you have it, they were excited that happened the way that it happened. And the first thing that comes out of his mouth in his excitement was some hating shit. Oh, that's a bad style for Wilder. He don't want no more of that. He don't want to get back in here with him no more. He don't want to do that. Right. That's because Andre SOG Ward is tribal towards people who traditionally fight. Boxing is predicated on tribalism, no matter what. You understand what I'm saying? And when people come in and they try to tell you that they don't gravitate towards any specific fighters or whatever the case may be, hey man, it's a lie. You understand what I'm saying? It's a lie. It's not the facts, man. It's not the facts. You know what I mean? So I truthfully, man, I won't say I discredit people, but I do discredit people. You know what I'm saying? I won't discredit your boxing. I won't discredit your boxing knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? When people say stuff like that, I won't discredit their boxing knowledge, but I will discredit their ability to tell the truth and their willingness to tell the truth. I'll discredit that in a motherfucking minute. You know what I'm saying? Junior the Infinite, I see you, man. I see you over on the app. Yeah, he says boxing is definitely tribal. Yeah, it's tribalistic, man. It's tribal. Period. You're gonna come out and you're gonna gravitate towards fighters, like no matter what. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? And that's why movements like the WBC, even other movements, you know what I mean? What has been done with traditional media, you know what I mean? These outfits have a goal. They have a very, very specific goal. And it's just now with the onset of the LDBC and new media that you're getting to see a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? And then you see it at work. You see things like what's going on, like the support that's being strung up for Devin Haney. You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand that if the LDBC wasn't present and wasn't pushing that line and pushing that narrative for the support of Devin Haney, that Devin Haney would be lumped into what has been done to our fighters, to black fighters since forever. You understand what I'm saying? Which is what we're gonna get to, because we're decoding. We're gonna decode this shit. We're gonna decode it. We're going to decode it. So man, so it's you know, boxing, we have to first understand, man, that boxing is tribal, bro. Like, it's tribal, period. Even the motherfuckers who they're covering the fights, bro. You understand? When you go to Blue Blood, my brother Blue Blood, you understand what I'm saying? Who covers the sport, and he does a wonderful job to maintain his objectivity when he needs to. But at the core of it all, he is unapologetically a fan of the sport of boxing. He is unapologetically a fan of certain fighters. You understand what I'm saying? Unapologetically, period. And when you get in those spaces, when you get into those spaces, you can see what it is. You can see what it is. Salute to the homie legendary Topcast in the building. He done fell up. He said, "Wake y'all ass up, boots on the ground. Be great today." Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's the A. Hey, bruh, be great today. You got to be, like you said, make it better than the last time. You feel me? Make it better than the last time. You got to be great. So boxing is tribal, man, period. Whether you represent who you run with. Y'all see how I run with Ohio fighters. You see what the Texas boys is doing. You understand what I'm saying? You see what the DMV boys is doing. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, you see what the New York dudes do with it. You feel me? Other than like in California, you know, California, they had some, you know, they had them boxers out of California. But other than California, Texas, Ohio, you know what I'm saying, Detroit, you know, Michigan and Ohio, you know, that's kind of one of the same. But that whole area and DMV in New York, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, Philly get love too. Philly get love too, even though, man, y'all been getting some damage done to y'all brand, bruh. The Philly boxing brand got some, you know, y'all got to come up out the Danny Garcia age, huh? Y'all got to come up out the Danny Garcia age, but do they have boxing anywhere else? What the fuck is the rest of y'all doing, man? What's going on? Florida, I don't know if y'all ever gonna return from the Keith Thurman shit. I don't know if y'all ever gonna return. Yeah, we said Philly. Yeah, Philly, but Philly, you know, y'all got to come about them Danny Garcia days, man. Danny just got to go. If Danny go out like a dog, man, if Danny go out like a dog, then we'll be okay. If he go out like a dog, we'll be okay. But everybody else, man, I don't know. You feel me? I don't even know. My brother Trey X in the building. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all be sure to go subscribe to Marlowe Corner 2, man. Y'all be sure to go get that done, man, and go over there and check out them fights. Florida got Lubin, but Lubin got some work to do, man. He already, had that situation. He had that setback already. He got some work to do. You understand what I'm saying? He got some work to do. You know, we're gonna tell it all. He got some work to do. Philly got J-Rock, solid. Philly got J-Rock. So when J-Rock overshadows Danny Garcia, we got work. Because J-Rock is solid. All solid, no shake. Mm-hmm. This boy, Crush the Legend said, I'm from Philly. Outside of J-Rock and Boost Ennis, I don't F with him. Come on, bro. You don't F with Danny Garcia, bro? Come on, man. Give Danny some love, man. Give Danny some love. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's how tribal boxing is. That's just an example. You understand what I'm saying? It's tribal. It is what it is. Junior the Infinite said, he must be from Florida. He said, hey, man. Hey, Lubin is from Florida. Don't leave that out. Lubin is from Florida. I got you, family. I got you. Lubin almost there, though. He almost back where he need to be. So boxing is tribal, man. So we cannot lose sight of that. The fact that it is tribal, we cannot lose sight of that. Come on, Nino Brown boxing. Danny ain't trash, bro. Come on, bro. I can't let you do Danny like that, man. He ain't trash, bro. I don't like the way he move all the time, man. He ain't trash though, bro. He's still elite. He's still elite welterweight, bro. Don't forget, Keith lineage traces back to Ohio. Here come Jay Good, bro. Why you hate Ohio so tough, Jay Good? I'm trying to understand, man. Yeah, you're a press chef. I heard that, man. I wait for the stories to come out. I be needing to hear that stuff from the people who are actually close to the situation. And if you don't know, I don't trust anything that comes from main media anymore because, you know, people come out and they run stories with main media, basically just to push an agenda. You understand what I'm saying? But we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. We decoding this thing, man. And we're going to slow walk this shit. Like Santee Walton said, we're going to slow walk it. When a motherfucker come out here and tell you that he don't pick nobody, he stays objective, he lying. Cause even if he goes into a fight not knowing who he gonna pick, once they start rumbling, once they start exchanging fire, he's gonna pick a side. Boxing is a sport that it does that to you. You understand what I'm saying? It does that to you. Corey Spinks is not from Florida, ancestral rage. If that's what you're saying, he is not from Florida. He is from St. Louis, Missouri, home of the great Monty Brown TV. Y'all be sure to go subscribe to my brother Monty Brown TV. You understand what I'm saying? So, once we understand that, it's tribal, right? We have to then talk about the elephant in the room, man. And the elephant in the room is indeed the fact that there is there's a system in place to not give the appropriate amount of respect and the appropriate amount of consideration and the appropriate treatment to certain demographics of fighters, black ones. You understand what I'm saying? We do have to understand that. You know what I'm saying? We do have to understand that. We do have to say that. We have to recognize that there is a system in place in the sport of boxing to keep the appropriate amount of respect from black fighters. There is a system at place that demonizes black fighters no matter who they are. You understand what I'm saying? That is why you can have Floyd Money Mayweather demonized. You can have the Charlos demonized. You can have Errol Spence Jr. demonized. You can have Bud Crawford demonized, even though they're not right now because of his representation, which happens to be Bob Arum, who historically represents white people. He represents white people historically. And when I say represents, I mean in figuratively. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm trying to make this shit plain. So if a white person was coming into a situation and you look at the different tribes in the sport of boxing right now, with having the Zone app tribe, having the PBC tribe, having the Bob Arum tribe, then having the Kathy Duva, Aegis Clemus, I think is his name, that whole tribe over there, you know what I'm saying, in they're kind of, I don't want to call them bastards, but they're kind of, the Eastern European sort of situation, even though they work with some of the other entities a lot. Now, then everybody else is just, you have just independent folks that's just out here. You understand what I'm saying? Who haven't been chosen or haven't joined any other tribes. So if a person's coming in, right, and let's say a white person's coming in, you come in, right, and you have a white person who's coming in, and they're trying to basically choose, which tribe they're gonna identify with. I'm doing the most with this, and I'm trying to make it plain, but I'm doing the most while trying to make it plain. So the shit's not really working. But look, so they're going to automatically, once they realize that the PBC, and they look at the layout of the PBC and they see Deontay Wilder over there, Errol Spence Jr. is run by Al Heyman. They're going to hear all this stuff about Al Heyman. They're going to go to mainstream media off the muscle, which is what they do. They're going to go to mainstream media. They're going to look at ESPN. They're going to see what Dan Raphael had to say about Al Heyman and the PBC. They're going to go and they're going to look at boxing scene, and they're going to see what Fisher and Steve Kim and what those dudes have to say about black fighters and ESPN, and they're gonna use that as their point of reference to judge where they should put their support. So they're going to disqualify the PBC. You understand what I'm saying? Then they might be a red-blooded, American who, wants to support everything American. So then that will disqualify the Kathy Duval and those folks. You feel me? So then you're left to choose between, the DAZN and then Bob Arum, who is on ESPN. ESPN is free, so on and so forth. And they're going to look, and then the chances are, Bob Arum has been around. You know who Bob Arum is. You know who Top Rank is. Anybody who's been anywhere close to the sport of boxing has heard those terms before, heard of those people, heard of, the people who have been represented by Top Rank. And they're going to look at Top Rank, and this, this is American as apple pie. Then they're going to gravitate towards Top Rank. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of how this thing is an example of how this thing works. But when you go over and you look at the politics within the sport of boxing, you see that, ultimately when it's all said and done, there is an overall goal in place, or I won't say goal. There's an overall system in place to discredit black fighters, man, at every turn. Period. Black fighters can do right. And then there's also there is a oh boy, man. Okay. There is also a system in place to give ridiculous amounts of credit to fighters who aren't black, who achieve half of what black fighters achieve. Period. And you have black fighters who have achieved twice as much as, a lot of the popular white fighters who are atop the pound for pound list, or who are highly regarded or highly touted, or whatever the case may be. And it's a system that is alive and well and in place. I mean, I can't really, I'm trying to slow walk this thing, man, but it's, I don't know, man. I don't like it. Maybe it's informative. Maybe I'm working it. Maybe I'm not. Who knows? But we're gonna use Vasily Lomachenko, right? Let's use Vasily Lomachenko. So Vasily Lomachenko is, the people are trying to tout him and say that he is, one of the greatest boxers who ever lived. We've never seen anything like him. He is, pound for pound number one. He is this. My real uncle is in the building. What's up, Unc? I see you in the building. We gotta get Unc brought up to speed. Unc coming in here with his government name and everything. What's happening, Unc? Man, I hope all is well, Unc. Man, I love you. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all wonder where I get this player shit from. I come from a long line of extraordinary gentlemen, man. My uncle is one of them, man. Salute, Unc. I see you in the building. So we gonna slow walk this thing. So we got Vasily Lomachenko, who is pushed off, and he's presented to us by ESPN. ESPN is the most powerful sports network in the world. You understand what I'm saying? It is the sports network that gets the most views on a daily basis. You understand what I'm saying? So on and so forth. It's the most powerful sports entity in the world, period. And they push off Vasily Lomachenko as the best fighter in the world. Okay. Vasily Lomachenko is 14-1 as a professional. He has 10 knockouts, 14-1 with 10 knockouts as a professional. And they are taking him and comparing him to Muhammad Ali. They are taking him and elevating him over historically fighters like Mike Tyson, fighters like Sugar Ray Leonard, fighters like Sugar Ray Robinson. You understand what I'm saying? Fighters from the past who have achieved, when they were 14, 15 fights in, they hadn't even scratched the surface. You understand what I'm saying? And Vasily Lomachenko has 14 wins, 10 of them by knockout, 1 loss that came at the hands of Orlando Salido, who was a journeyman, who was 41-12-2 at the time when they fought. You understand what I'm saying? He lost a decision to Orlando Salido. Okay, so then people try to say that, okay, well, they try to say, well, Vasily Lomachenko did so much in the amateurs, and he did this and he did that and so on and so forth, and yada yada yada. And it's like, okay, he had a great amateur career. Okay, cool. He came in and he jumped right into the fire based on his long amateur career. He has 2 Olympic gold medals. He comes straight in, man. He comes straight in and gets to it. And he has names on his resume, man. You know, the Jose Ramirez, you feel me? On his resume, man. He has the Orlando Salido. You know, he beat Gary Russell Jr. He has that. You know what I'm saying? We got Nicholas Walters. You know, he did beat Guillermo Rigondeaux, even though Rigondeaux moved up 2 weight classes, is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So we got those. He has that 1 loss, 14 fights, okay? And he is the greatest of all time. From the Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? Not even American white, but he's from the Ukraine. Okay, cool. So my argument, and I've always had this argument, was with Vasily Lomachenko being, okay, number 1 pound for pound. Let's play the game. He's number 1 pound for pound. He has 14 wins, 1 loss. He lost to Orlando Salido. He's atop the world of boxing. Okay. He has 2 Olympic gold medals because, people always bring that up. He's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist and they're bringing it up as a pro. Cool. We're going to play that game. We have Guillermo Rigondeaux, El Jacal, 19-1. 13 of his 19 victories come by knockout. His 1 loss was to Vasily Lomachenko, who is number 1 pound for pound. Number 1 pound for pound. So if Vasily Lomachenko is 14-1 with a loss to Orlando Salido, and Guillermo Rigondeaux is 19-1, and his 1 sole loss came at the hands of the number 1 pound for pound fighter in all of the world, Craig, not just the city, but the world, Craig. You feel me? And we know what Guillermo Rigondeaux did, you know what I'm saying, in as far as coming through with his weight class in the super bantamweight. You feel me? Having those titles, housing everything, people running from him, people jumping out the window, jumping out and running down the stairs, all kind of shit. He came in the room slapping people and acting a damn fool. You feel me? Why is Guillermo Rigondeaux not even brought to the table for the discussion? He's not even brought to the table for the conversation. You understand what I'm saying? So it's very, very funny to me when we really truly look at it. And what else could it be other than this system that is in play that is meant to suppress the accomplishments and suppress the accomplishments and the notoriety and the popularity of black fighters at the behest of honoring and giving unmerited rewards to other fighters from other demographics. Period. Like it's one of them things. It's one of them things, like it's no secret. And then we have Terrence Bud Crawford, right? Who is on the same banner, under the same promotional banner as Vasily Lomachenko, who receives half of the support, half of the notoriety, half of the promotion that Vasily Lomachenko receives, right? Terrence Bud Crawford, who's American, from Omaha, Nebraska, who's black, 35-0. 26 of those fights coming from way of knockout. Now, I didn't say 14, 15, 16, 19, 20. No, I said he's 35-0. 35-0, undefeated, 26 knockouts. He has cleared out 2 weight divisions, right? He cleared out 35. He cleared out 140. He became undisputed at 140. He moved to 147 and captured the title versus the man who beat Manny Pacquiao in Jeff Horn from Australia. He beat him, captured his title at 147. So this is like his 3rd weight class that he is a titleist at, undefeated. Come on, bro. But he's not getting the recognition of someone who has less than half the amount of fights with a loss. We have to understand that this thing is tribal, man. Boxing is tribal. When you decode this thing, you have to understand that this stuff is tribal, bruh. This stuff is tribal, and there is a very, very, they are very intentional with what it is that they're doing and what it is that they're trying to accomplish. BFTB Boxing, I see you in the building. What's happening? They are very, very intentional with what they're trying to accomplish. And so what we have to do is we have to, first of all, man, we got to recognize it. I'm running out of time. We have to recognize what it is, man. And you got to stay engulfed in the truth, man. Like, you got to really truly stay engulfed in the truth. You got to stay engulfed in the truth. My uncle said it's called racism. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It is, you know, because boxing, the sport of boxing is a microcosm of life. So when you're talking about the systems and the isms and all of those, you know, that stuff those isms make their way into the sport of boxing. And there's no way in the world, you know what I mean, that you should have Vasily Lomachenko elevated over fighters like Terrence Bud Crawford. It's impossible. You understand what I'm saying? It is absolutely 100% impossible. Now, we got the situation with Canelo Alvarez, right? And so now this has spilled beyond dealing with the promotional outfits and the promotions and dealing with the fans, because now we have the sanctioning body who are, you know, responsible for, you know, quote unquote, they're responsible for giving validity to the fighters, because the sanctioning bodies are in charge of the quote unquote ranking systems that are irrelevant and inaccurate and are misleading, but and are for sale. But they are responsible for giving validity to what it is that we have going on within the sport of boxing. They're supposed to be the ones providing the order. You understand what I'm saying? We talking about we need order. They the ones who's supposed to be responsible for providing the order as it relates to the sport of boxing, right? So these jokers come in and they have the WBC, who is a Mexican organization, right? So they have pretty much come in and put a hedge of protection around Canelo Alvarez specifically, because Canelo Alvarez is a fighter who has Canelo Alvarez is a good fighter. He's a good fighter. I'm gonna say that. Canelo Alvarez is also a drug cheat. Canelo Alvarez is also a fighter who has only fought 2 fighters in their prime that we talk about. He's fought 2. He fought black fighters. He fought a couple of black fighters. He fought 2 of them in their prime. He fought more than a couple, but he fought 2 in their prime. That was Erislandy Lara and Austin No Doubt Trout, and those are fights that he arguably lost. Other than that, Canelo Alvarez is a no country for old men, man. He's gonna go out. He's gonna find fighters outside of their prime. He's gonna do all kind of little tricky things, or not. They are gonna do all kind of things as it relates to the contract to give him an advantage, to give him all the advantages. Won't call it fair, unfair. I'll call it advantages. Now, you have the sanctioning bodies, the WBC, who had issue with Canelo Alvarez when they tried to enforce his mandatory fights, tried to make him fight Gennady Golovkin when Canelo Alvarez went up to middleweight, fought and beat an old Miguel Cotto, took the WBC 160-pound title and ran down and campaigned at 154. And he campaigned at 154 because 155, which is not a traditional weight division. You have 154, then you go from 154 to 160. I told y'all I'm slow walking this thing because there are a lot of people in the sport of boxing who don't know, who are coming in and listening in to the sport. We talk this shit every day, but they're coming in and they have no idea about what's been going on. So we got to slow walk it and help it make it make sense to them. So there's you have the 154, which is the junior middleweight, then you have 160, which is middleweight. Canelo Alvarez got a title and he campaigned at 155 because at 154 you had Jamal Charlo, Billy Joe Saunders, and Demetrius Andrade all wanting a Canelo Alvarez fight at 154 because of a championship caliber fight, and it was a pay-per-view fight, and he was continuously it was a big money fight, period. Jay Good said the stream keeps freezing. I believe it, man. I believe it. I haven't gotten any notifications, but I believe it. But I'm gonna keep rocking. And be sure to download the Junior the Truth mobile app, man. Whether you team Apple, team Android, man, I got the mobile app for you. Once again, starting at the 1st of December, man, all of my live streams, the whole the whole Punch Junkie morning show, and the Black Gentleman podcast, all of that stuff will be housed over on the mobile app. So, but anyway, let's get back to this thing. So, Canelo Alvarez campaigned at 155. He was allowed to campaign at 155. He was even allowed to have 160-pound fights at 155. You understand what I'm saying? Period. Now, the WBC got to the point where they had to mandated that Canelo Alvarez fight Gennady Golovkin because that was the big fight to be made at the middleweight division, and it was a big money fight, and they knew that they needed to be attached to that fight. It was going to bring in great amounts of revenue, and it was going to increase their pocket, because you understand that the sanctioning bodies are in business for two reasons. One is to increase the notoriety of their sanctioning body or their organization. That's one. The other one is to maximize their profit and to make money. They make money. And so if you have a big super fight with two fighters and the WBC is attached to that, then the WBC is going to have more notoriety because it'll be more people watching the fight, and it'll be a bigger purse, so they'll get a bigger percentage of the purse. Period. So they were trying to force their hand with that fight. Canelo Alvarez vacated the title, and he entered into this relationship where he was not in good graces with the WBC, or the WBC was not in the good graces of Canelo. Period. Which was not good for business because it is a Mexican organization. You understand what I'm saying? Similar to if we look at the LDBC, and the LDBC, us being here with our sole purpose of actually being sure that our black fighters are not railroaded and treated with ridiculous amounts of disrespect. We're here elevating these the popularity and notoriety of black fighters so that they can come to the table and be treated fairly. That's what we're here for, right? So can you imagine Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, who is now the face of the sport of boxing, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder not being in good graces with the LDBC? Coming out saying, you know what? To hell with them. I'm not dealing with the LDBC. They can kiss my ass. I don't even want to talk to them. I'm not doing no interviews with them. I'm not talking to them. I don't even want to have anything to do with them. That is the equivalent, in my opinion, or that is along the same lines. I won't call it the equivalent because it's two different things, but that is along the same lines of the WBC falling out with Canelo Alvarez. It was not a good situation, period. So much, in fact, that there was a title, the WBC created a title, the Mayan title, or Aztec title, or some sort of title that they attached to Canelo Alvarez when he went up to 164.5 pounds and fought the 175-pound Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And WBC created a title for that fight, and Canelo Alvarez refused to accept that title. Right? This is how bad the relationship got with him. So when they finally were able to mend the relationship, and Canelo Alvarez gets a hold of the middleweight WBC title again, right? They are in this, the WBC is in this space where they're going to cater to Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez entered into a deal with the Zone. He has a deal where he's making $35 million, I believe, per fight, allegedly $35 million per fight. He, has a high profile, high notoriety. People talk about Canelo Alvarez within the sport of boxing. So the WBC is going to attach themselves to that. Meanwhile, you have these lions who are in the sport working at 160, one being Jermall Charlo, who worked his way up to the silver belt, the silver champ, and work his way up as the mandatory for Canelo Alvarez. So the WBC tries to make this fight between Canelo Alvarez and Jermall Charlo because it's a super fight. Jermall Charlo has the following. He has the LDBC and these other networks. Salute Miss Boxing. I see you in the building, love. All these not networks. All these people who are pushing him and behind him. He has a following in the state of Texas. He has a following in all throughout the United States because we actually follow and we rock with the Charlos, right? So this is a fight that's going to do good. It's going to do good numbers. And it's a good, highly competitive fight between two of the best fighters at the 160-pound division. Canelo Alvarez doesn't want the fight. He does not want to take that fight. And he is refusing to take that fight. So instead of the WBC stripping him, which is what's customary when fighters refuse to take their mandatory fights, they're stripped of the title. The title becomes vacant, and then the fighters, usually they'll have the two fighters come together. One of them who will probably be that mandatory person, not probably, will be that mandatory person, fight another fighter who is highly ranked in their rankings, and that person then becomes the champion of that in that division for that sanctioning body. Okay? Canelo Alvarez was not stripped. You understand what I'm saying? He was not stripped. They created a title. The title is known as the franchise championship. So he was moved into the franchise entity. He evacuated the WBC regular middleweight title. The title that has the notoriety that the historical Hall of Fame champions from the past have held at the middleweight division. And that title was then given and awarded to Jamal Charlo without having taken it in from Canelo in the ring. And the Canelo's allowed, good morning, Ashley. Good morning to you, sister. He's allowed to move about, to go to different weight divisions, bounce around, do whatever it is he wants to do. He is now protected by this title that we do not have an explanation for. I'm not going to even try to act like there's an explanation of it. The things that I know about is you can't lose it in the ring. It's awarded to a person, for whatever reasons, and they can move about freely doing what they want to and still be represented by represent the WBC in whatever fuckery that they do. That's what I know about the title. So we do know that. We also know that somewhere in there, Canelo Alvarez tested positive for a performance-enhancing drug, and he served a 6-month suspension because of him testing positive. You know what I'm saying? Via the VADA clean boxing program, which was introduced to the sport of boxing by the WBC. So the WBC institutes and makes it a requirement that their fighters enter into the clean boxing program, which was administered by VADA. This shit gets sticky. So now also with Canelo having tested positive for Buterol in the past, the WBC also now institutes a level that it is now legal for fighters to have a certain level of Buterol in their system. They are allowed to have a banned substance, a performance-enhancing drug in their system as long as it meets a certain threshold. So they're allowed to have it in their system. They created this and instituted this policy where it is legal for their fighters to actually juice as long as they're using this juice that Canelo Alvarez uses. You see what I'm saying? So now let's go back. Let's go back to my original point when I first started talking about this, because we're talking about decoding this shit. So when I go back to my original point, boxing, the sport of boxing, has been, is, and will always be tribal. The WBC and their handling of Canelo Alvarez, their handling of this situation, the things that they are doing as it relates to making Canelo Alvarez untouchable, is a part of the tribal nature of the sport of boxing. They are being tribalistic. They are being tribal to Canelo Alvarez, they're being tribal to him first as a business entity, because he does make a lot of money in the sport of boxing. Also, he is a Mexican fighter, Mexican born from Guadalajara? I think he's from Guadalajara, Mexico. You feel me? He is a Mexican fighter, not even Mexican American. Don't get that fucked up. It's a difference. It's a difference. You understand what I'm saying? It's a difference. Don't get it misconstrued. You know what I mean? It is a difference. But he is a Mexican born fighter. Period. He's a Mexican fighter. So they are protecting. You understand what I'm saying? They're Mexican born fighter, which, ultimately at the end of the day, it's their right to. That's why, ownership is key. Salute to I Am Ill Will. Happy birthday to you, family. Yes, indeed. Salute, Drew Titan. I see you in the building. So it's this stuff, man. We got to stop letting people pull the wool over our eyes, man. You know what I mean? And to me, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm into this space where I don't even want to enter into conversations with folks. Like when you start talking to me about this stuff, and if you're to the point where you're not trying to have a conversation, but you're just trying to tell me, hey, Lomachenko is the best ever. Blah, 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 blah. And I say, well, how so, family? You know, he's 14-1 with a loss. He lost to Orlando Salido. You understand what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, nah. Hey, Almighty Law. Now listen, man. Now listen, bro. You know, Almighty Law, that's a conversation to have with legendary Top Cats. Cause you know, we you know what I'm saying? I have no doubt that he has Irish blood in him and a lot of it. I have absolutely no doubt about that. You understand what I'm saying? But you know, he was indeed born in Mexico. You understand what I'm saying? But you know, as far as him, you know, his European genes, you know, makes, you know, that's obvious. You know what I mean? That's obvious. But you know, it is what it is, man. We're not gonna jump down that rabbit hole. We're not gonna jump down that rabbit hole. But what I am gonna say though is, now as far as where we're at with black fighters, right? It is imperative for me, and I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm not gonna speak for anybody else. It is imperative for me that I toe the line as it relates to black fighters, as long as they are conducting themselves by the code. As long as they're conducting themselves by the code, which is why people think I'm crazy when I come out here, like I said, when I cheer for Showtime Sean Porter and I back his plan, I back Kenny Porter's play, and you know, all that kind of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Showtime Sean Porter has never come out, in my opinion, he's never conducted himself like anything short of a champion. Period. Point blank, end of discussion. Like never, not ever has he done that. He's always conducted himself accordingly. You understand what I'm saying? When we have fighters who come out, you know, and you know, they try to popularize cooning. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just gonna call it what it is. They try to popularize not talking to independent black media outlets. They try to popularize siding with other entities against their fan base. Man, I can't rock with you. I can't do it. You understand what I'm saying? When you come out and you give me your ass to kiss like Floyd Mayweather has, as it relates to this whole Gucci situation and all lives matter and black lives, you know, don't matter, or whatever, you know, whatever else it is that you saying, and the Clippers owner, I forgot his name, he didn't Sterling, you know what I mean, he never called me a nigger, and all that old, you know, all that old buffoonery, bro. When it comes to that, and you taking that stance against the people who are responsible for you achieving the wealth and the popularity and all that stuff that you've achieved, bro, I can't rock with you. I can't rock with you by any stretch of the imagination. Now, you can come out here as a black fighter. You can come out here and campaign under that if you want to. You understand what I'm saying? But chances are you're not gonna have you're not gonna be favored. You're not gonna have a favorable following as it relates now, because you know we're here. You understand what I'm saying? We're here, strong, black-owned, independent, and we here. And we have a voice. You understand what I'm saying? And we gonna talk. That's the one thing we gonna do. We gonna talk. We talk every day. All day. Every day we talk. We talk about this sport. We talk about this sport that we love. We talk about the fighters. We talk about who doesn't want who. We're busting myths. We're the myth busters. When you come out and you talk these talking points and you do these, you make these lies and these falsehoods, we're gonna come out and we're gonna bust them. We're gonna bust the myths. That's what we do. That's what we do. You know, one of the things too for me, as far as me staying on code and people, you know, I saw Tevin Farmer, he made a tweet and he was saying that, you know, I can't believe people hate on the zone so tough and blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm gonna explain, I'm gonna slow walk it. I'm gonna explain why I don't fuck with the zone. I don't fuck with the zone. First of all, because of the way that, because it's partnered with the zone, I mean with Mushroom Boxing, Matchroom Boxing, who is run by Eddie Hearn. The way that Eddie Hearn tried to emasculate Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder as it related to a fight with Anthony Joshua was very, very distasteful, over the top, and too much for me. You understand what I'm saying? So I had absolutely no desire. It went from me actually cheering for Anthony Joshua to me not even liking Anthony Joshua. Not only because of him being signed to Eddie Hearn, but because of him signing off on the things that Eddie Hearn was doing. Salute to Blue Blood Sports TV in the building. I see you, family. Y'all be sure to go subscribe to my brother, Blue Blood Sports TV. So for me, I automatically couldn't get down with it because of Eddie Hearn, right? Now, when Eddie Hearn announced when they were in a conference about the DAZN deal, Eddie Hearn referred to Mushroom Boxing and the DAZN and them coming to the United States to provide coverage in the United States. Eddie Hearn referred to that as a transatlantic deal. Okay? Now, the thing about people who are pompous and who are jackasses and who are arrogant, they think that they elevate, especially people in the UK, because there's this thing with people globally where they believe that American black people in the United States of America are functioning on a lower frequency. They think that we function on a lower frequency. They think that they can have these talking points and they can use blanket statements and they can say things that are operating at a higher frequency that are above our level of understanding. When Eddie Hearn said that he was bringing a transatlantic deal to the United States, he was trying to be funny. It was one of those things that he and his cronies and the people that are around him, they were laughing about behind closed doors, because he said, I'm going to go up here and say this. Watch this. He said that. I bet. I'm willing to bet. I bet you dollars to donuts, or I bet you dollars to biscuits and tea, motherfucker. That's what he said. That was what was going on. And he went out there and in his smooth, educated, witty way, he said that. He let that shit utter out his mouth that this is a transatlantic deal that we're bringing and blah, 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 blah. But when you're someone like me, when you're someone that's read, that's studied, you understand what I'm saying? When you're someone and you come from a long lineage of men who poured into you to heighten your awareness, you understand what I'm saying? To heighten your awareness. You have no idea how many conversations I've had with my uncle who's in here. I've sat in conversations with my uncles, listened to them talk, listen to the bullshit, listen to varying circumstances that are placed on black men and so on and so forth. So my awareness is heightened. I'm studied. I've read. You understand what I'm saying? I read. I stay well abreast as to what's going on culturally and especially specifically regarding the social economic status of my people. Like I'm all in. So when he said that, I said, okay. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. I can't fuck with that. Then there was another instance, because I already wasn't dealing with the zone. I said, man, I can't. Him, the shit that he did with Deontay Wilder, the way he was, the amount of the lack of respect that he showed my heavyweight champ. No way. And then saying, the transatlantic deal shit, nah, I can't mess with it. Then there was another circumstance where Barry Hearn, which is Eddie Hearn's father, was sitting on the stage with Dillian White, and Barry Hearn says, hey, I remember a time when, and I'm paraphrasing, he said we were slave traders. Literally, he said slave traders, but he's basically said that the sport of boxing used to be a slave trade. And when he was in the height of his promotion, he was a slave trader. You know what I'm saying? He traded slaves, and he has to sit there and he has to be respectful to Dillian White. This motherfucker literally said that. Now I sit here and I have to be respectful. I have to call this motherfucker Mr. Dillian White. You know what I'm saying? And he was saying stuff like that. And I'm like, wow. But that's the dude that raised Eddie Hearn. Like, that's the dude that raised Eddie Hearn. So people try to say stuff like, people will say stuff all the time like, yeah, my mom and dad are racist, but I'm not. Motherfucker, they raised you. What are you talking about? That shit is instinctually in you, bro. What are you talking about? You understand what I'm saying? Come on, bro. And so when he said that, it solidified my point. And to this day, and as it will continue for me, I will not support the DAZN as long as they are still in a contract and in partnership with Mushroom Boxing. And then you add in Golden Boy Promotions, and we all know about the racial emails and things that went on with Golden Boy Promotions. Let me run the track back, and let me go back to the original point. Boxing is tribal. You understand what I'm saying? Boxing is a tribal sport. Whether you are choosing your tribe based on nationalism, ethnicity, racism, class, whatever the case may be, social class, whatever. It's a tribal sport. The Zone enters into a deal with Golden Boy Boxing because of Golden Boy Boxing and Oscar De La Hoya, they became bastards with no home with the collapse of HBO Boxing and nothing not working on ESPN. Plus ESPN is in bed with Bob Arum and Top Rank, so Oscar De La Hoya turned into a savage and he went over there and he cut out his piece of the Zone out of the flesh of Eddie Hearn. But so I'm not dealing with that outfit. I'm not going to support them financially. I can't do it. I love Devin Haney. You understand what I'm saying? I love him. You know, I can't do it. And on top of the fact that the Zone's product is subpar. The only thing that they've done is indeed the world, and salute, I see you, Trey X. The only thing that they delivered to us is the World Boxing Super Series. That's it. Everything else is garbage on there. All of that stuff is garbage. Even though, and I'm gonna do another video about this, and I'm gonna talk about this, and the Zone is gonna single-handedly be responsible for breaking up this Canelo Alvarez bullshit. That's gonna happen by the Zone, because them forking out $35 million a fight, he's gonna have to fight somebody. He's gonna have to deliver a big fight. The biggest fight for financially that can be delivered right now from Canelo Alvarez is probably a fight with Jamal Charlo. The Jamal Charlo fight is the biggest financial fight for, you know, that will be lucrative for the DAZN and all the other entities, not Canelo, because, you know, he's contractually guaranteed, I believe, his purse. But as far as bringing money to the DAZN, the biggest fight that will bring money to the DAZN is the Jamal Charlo fight, period. You have to make that Jamal Charlo fight. But that's a whole nother conversation. I just wanted to put that out there, you know what I mean? And then I'll put the caveat of, you know, you heard it here first. The DAZN is going to have to be responsible for breaking up the Canelo Alvarez situation with the WBC, with him ducking fighters, with him maneuvering around strategically. That it has to be broken up by the DAZN and nobody else. But anyway, I'm not going to financially support the DAZN. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. So, you know what I mean? I got to get ready to get out of here. But I want to come back to the point, and the main point that we have to understand as we try to work towards decoding the sport of boxing and what's going on is because boxing is tribal. It is a tribal sport. When people try to come and they try to tell you that they don't pick a side and they don't pick a boxer and they don't do this, they're lying. They're lying. Period. And also there are systems in place to protect certain fighters from certain demographics or fighters who are associated with certain outfits, and there's a system in place to undermine black fighters. We take them things away from this conversation, man. As we gotta work. Like I said, this is gonna be more than one. You understand? We're gonna have a few conversations about this. We have to work toward decoding the sport of boxing, man, in order for us to have an understanding. DJ Punch, I see you, man, and Supreme Beast Boxing Talk, I see you, family. Thank y'all so much for taking the time to tune in, man. Really, truly, genuinely appreciate it. You have absolutely no idea. Salute to everybody, man, over on the mobile app, man. This boy Marlon So Icy Sim said Canelo about to get sponsored by Clenbuterol. You feel me? Yes, indeed, man. Really, truly, genuinely appreciate y'all. You have absolutely no idea. Thank you so much. Shout out to the LDBC, Lions Den Boxing community. Be sure to visit the website over www.ldbcsports.com. Create a profile while you're over there. It's absolutely 100% free. Wednesdays, tonight, and Wednesdays, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in to the Smoke City Mobcast presented by the LDBC. The show streams live exclusively via the LDBC mobile app. Whether you team Apple or team Android, man, be sure to download the mobile app. This is indeed Junior the Truth, man. Once again, this show has been brought to you by the good folks over at the CBD Counter, powered by hempschool.com. Be sure to visit that website, www.cbdcounter.co. Your one-stop shop for all of your CBD needs, man. Creams, vitamins, gummies, whatever. They even have stuff for your pets, man. All kind of stuff. Go over there and check it out, man. Salute to Napoleon Armstrong in the super chat, man. Really, truly appreciate you, family. Let me make sure I didn't miss no more super chats, man. I probably did, man. Apologies to y'all. Let me see. We got I think I got legendary top cats, Tony Boswell. I think we good. I think we got everybody. But this new outlook is horrible. Well, let me see. Let me make sure though before I get up out of here. And salute to Napoleon Armstrong in the super chat. Really truly appreciate you, family. I think we are good. Anyway, let me get out of here, man. Thank y'all so much for taking the time to tune in. Really, truly, genuinely appreciate it. Be sure to follow me everywhere via social media. I can be found with the handle Junior the Truth, JUNIORTHETRUTH. That's on all the social media platforms. This is Junior the Truth signing off, man. I'm a high-born player made. If you don't know anything else about me, at the end of the day, I'm talking about at the absolute end of the day, hey, man, I got to keep pushing, baby. Salute, family.